Are you guys ready for the next question?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Who gets the most jealous?
Ooh.
Mm.
Of things
Hard.
or of each other?
Let's go with of each other.
I don't get jealous. I'm not
Yeah.
jealous.
Yeah.
I would say me. Just because the both of you have such wonderful, amazing husbands that I am so lucky to be able to call my brothers-in-law. I don't even like saying in-law, but my brothers. Um, and I have two failed marriages. I've never found that right person. And so I would say, I don't know if it's jealousy, but I wish I had it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I would say that. I would say me.
That's nice
Hey,
of you to say, Dan. Thanks. I
yeah, it
mean, not
was
that,
very nice.
I mean, you know what I mean. Not,
I know. I know what you mean.
I don't mean like, that's nice that you say you sad that you wish you had it, but you know what I mean. But thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you both hit gold mines. I mean, honestly, it's just amazing. I'm so lucky that they're my family. Yeah,
Yeah, we are very lucky with the group that we have. I would agree.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So that one was expected to be the oldest sibling,
Oh,
The
which I feel
oldest
Do you
like,
get
jealous?
jealous? Are you jealous of anything? I don't
No,
see that you are. I'm not. I don't. I'm
no.
yeah,
grateful for. I'm grateful for the things that you guys have that I'm lacking. It's more of a pride thing. Like, oh my God, I'm so proud that they have that ability that I don't have.
yeah. It's like we're
Yeah,
three,
I
three.
would. My turn, Dan.
The
Extrovert. The introvert needs to have some
leader.
The
or the
leader.
ambivert or whatever vert you are. I totally agree, and I think where it really came to light for me is when we worked on this book together over what it took us 10 years, and in the beginning it was so challenging, and we all had very separate lives, living in separate states, and you kind of lose who your siblings are. Like I did not know all the things about Dan and Denise to the extent that I know about them now until we started this process and we got together and started talking. And I realized what gifts Denise has and what gifts Danny has, what gifts I have, and they are all very different. And the beauty of our family is the fact that we can each shine in our own special way and we complement one another. We don't put others, we don't put one another down. Like, I know I am not the best writer. That's okay. Dan and Denise are fantastic. I know I'm the okay, let's get organized, let's move it ahead. What's our next thing? How do we move on? And
Editing.
editing, like, okay, you guys are getting too verbose. So we need to, this chapter ending isn't very compelling to want to start the next one. So we learn that over time. And I am so grateful that we did write this book together because I feel like I know you better now than I ever did. And and I appreciate the things that you both bring to the table. Um, and just being a great family and being able to have constructive criticism and talk through things and say, all right, who wants to do this or that? So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always credit that to growing up in the military because we don't have a childhood home. We grew up on different Air Force bases or different neighborhoods. Friends came and went, schools came and went. But the one constant was we were all together. And I
Mhm.
think that's really one of the cores of our strength.
Mhm.
Yep.
awesome. It was a very like healthy way to answer that question. So, okay. So, um, who is the most controlling?
Oof. I would like to not say that it's me, but I feel like it's me.
It's definitely not me. Wait, when it comes to writing, at least
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the topic?
yeah,
Because
Oh,
in,
good point.
in the
yeah,
early stages, Denise, before you got your degree, and before Steph like really like learned how to edit, um, I've been a writer for over 20 years at that point. And I was very controlling. as far as like,
Yes.
no, we need to do this, we need to have this. This is why it's got to be like that. So in that instance, I was definitely controlling early on, but now, as we've grown,
You're still controlling.
Yeah, I was going to say nothing's changed.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that you're definitely, and I think it's because of the process itself, and that Steph and I have a little more experience, and for me, a little more knowledge, that we can talk on the same level to an extent,
Yeah.
maybe not the same level, but a better level, to where we can, it's easier for us to come to a compromise about more things than in the past, because I can say, hey, well, what about this? And just because of, now that I have more knowledge, it's still not up to the level that and experience that you have, but at least I can say, well, here's what I learned, and at least it's considered and it's thought about, and it's more of a conversation as opposed to, a hammer down. No, this is what, not that it was ever quite like that, although I'm sure
I know.
it felt that way.
It did. I think there was one time I think I was laying on the floor. I was at Steph's, and we were arguing something. I just laid on the floor and just like did like one of these, like, oh God, how do I convince her? I was just like all frustrated.
Yeah, because I mean, just based on and I'm stubborn, so my stubbornness with the arguing, like if I felt true about something, it was going to take a lot for. So I think yes, when it comes to writing, you are definitely more the lead, the controller in that aspect. But I think from a day-to-day basis, I would say it's probably Steph, because I feel like Steph always has that ability to go, okay, you guys, this is what we're going to do. This is what we need to do. I don't really care if you like it or not. You either got to, do this or do that, or make a choice. And if you don't want to, fine, just tell us, we'll move on. Like, and like kind of take charge, which is good, because we need that. Like, we need that glue that holds us from like losing our minds and just,
she's more of a commander.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like on a boat, like a commander, like the commander, not like I'm commanding you. But,
that's what I'm
getting us organized and moving us forward, right?
Yeah.
How do we move forward? Yeah. What do we need to do? Who needs to do what? How do we make it easy to get to the next step, whatever that step?
Yeah. And other stuff, sibling wise, I think Steph too, you're always the one that's like, hey, we need to do this for the family. Hey, we should do this as a family. Hey, so you do take charge as like the responsible, owner of, keeping us together, communicating, considering things about other situations, as well. So yeah, if I had to pick one, I would pick Steph, except when it came to the actual writing process, then definitely Dan.
In fact, I agree on that. even last night, I was like, I'm trying to figure out what to watch on Netflix. And she goes, I thought you were going to be writing down some ideas for something. And I was like, oh shit. And so I paused the TV and I came up with some ideas. And I'm like, oh gee, she's right. Yeah, she's right. I gotta work on that. I just wanted to watch my show. But I do want to say something to writers out there. Denise, the biggest thing when you went and got your master's degree, and it was literature and creative writing, am I saying that right?
English and creative writing, yeah.
English and creative writing. That it was the language. That was the biggest barrier break, because there are just a lot of terms in writing, whether it's, Joseph Campbell or Robert McKee or whomever. But that's what really was great, was that we now shared the same language. So that the communication became easier. Right. I'm like, oh, it's like this, or it's like that, or it's, and that I think was the number one thing. So I want to just tell people who are getting into writing, absolutely study the craft, pick 5 books on writing, just look them up online, the top selling books, read them, know them, learn them, because that is going to give you clarity.
That was who is the most controlling, and the stereotype for that one is that it's the oldest sibling.
Nailed
And
it.
maybe the phrasing I had was off. It says who likes to be in charge, which sounds like what you guys were saying for
Yeah.
Seth.
Yeah.
This is the last question. This one's I think a good way to end it. It's a thought-provoking question. Um, who had the hardest time finding their place in the world?
Mm.
Ooh, that's tough. I I want to say it's me, but and here's why. I from a very young age um knew I wanted to be in computers. And because I saw that the internet was formed, email had started, like literally the internet was born during my lifetime. And I knew computers was a thing. And I wanted it so badly. And I did 3 years of computer programming and I struggled so much. I was not good. I got F's on my exams. I just couldn't get it. And I struggled. Um, and I remember talking to someone, one of my good friends who helped me with the program. And he could literally, I ran the program, it aired out, and he said, "Oh, you're missing a semicolon." And the next day I changed my major to business because I'm like, I will never, be something great here because it's not innate in me and I don't understand it. Even though I love technology. So I changed my major. I had to go to college even longer. And then I got out of college and with a business degree, and then go, now what? Now what do I do? And I joined these different firms and tried different jobs and ended up at a company. And I worked 10 jobs at my company, all of which were wonderful experience. But did I love it and go, oh my God, this is so great. And I love what I'm doing? No. Did I make a lot of money? Yes. But can I say that that journey was the most fun for me? No, I can't. Um, but what I can say now is I feel like with this book and being creative, because I've always been a creative person at heart, and people in finance, some of them are creative, yes, but not, you know, they're not
Let's
jokey.
just add another zero for fun.
Right. Like it definitely is a different vibe in the finance world, in the STEM world. It totally is. And this book writing process has really brought me so much joy and happiness. All of those things I learned in my prior um, jobs throughout my tenure there at my finance company has really helped set me up for success now with this book to be able to help do the marketing stuff, edit videos, uh, do things that I never got to do in my corporate career. And so I feel like I was always searching, searching, searching. And I feel like, upon retirement, I'm retiring in what, 75 days? I'm finally finding my way. And that's a long time to go. But it's been a great journey and it's been fun to do it with my siblings.
I I was going to say me, but after hearing what you just said, it's you. I bounced around a lot on different jobs, especially early in my career, being a magician, a voiceover artist, an actor, and a writer. But then it was too much to juggle, and I just went, I love writing, and I've been writing ever since. So I guess I kind of found it. I mean, I searched a little bit, but not as long as you. So yeah, you win this one.
Yeah, and I don't know where I fit in because like I knew I wanted to be a nurse. But when I was in nursing school, I didn't know what kind of nurse until the very end. And but then when I was a critical care nurse, I loved it. Like it was intense. I had to move around a lot, so I didn't really have that like seed where you can stay at one company and progress and progress and progress, and make your way up the chain. But I always really, really liked it. Like I always knew I wanted to be a nurse. But for me, I wouldn't say I've had a hard time. What was the question again? Finding your what? What was it?
Finding your place in the world.
Yeah. So for me, I knew I wanted to be a nurse. That was my place in the world. But for me, I feel like my places have changed So like I was super happy being a nurse, and then I homeschooled for a little bit. And for that moment, I was like, this is what I love. I'm gonna do this. And I was very content to do that. Um, the only thing I knew for me that makes me happy is I had one period at a time where I wasn't working and my children were old enough that they didn't need me so much. And went almost insane because I just know I knew that I need to have a purpose. So for me, finding my place was always finding something, the next thing to do that I wanted to try to be good at or try to do the best I could. So like nursing, I feel like I was really good at that. I did a pretty good job homeschooling. For the most part, my kids are fairly successful people. And then, well, they are successful people. They're not fairly successful. So far in life, they are successful.
Nobody's been to jail.
No one's been to jail yet. And then now it's like, I was like with the writing project, I was like, oh, I should go get my master's. I'm going to become a student and get that. And now I'm doing that. And now I have, and so I feel like I was always happy where I was, but my was kept changing, but I was always happy there, if that makes sense.
I think there's a through line there, though. Helping people by being a nurse. I remember when your children were young and they were like, we're having problems in the school because they didn't just the way it was being taught. And you're like, I'm going to homeschool. That's helping people. And now you're bringing joy to the world with your writing. I think that's your theme, is spreading love and creating goodness.
And bedpans. Who knew?
Okay, so what's your guys' vote?
I'm going to say it's the baby. The stereotype is the baby.
Who of you guys do you think it is, though?
Oh,
I
don't know. I guess I would say Steph, because I feel like she's the one that didn't really know for sure what she wanted to do.
That's the speech. Yeah, no, the speech sold me on her.
Yeah. So Steph.
Okay, so Steph. All right. The stereotype for this one, it's not the youngest. It is the middle child.
Ah. And you were gonna say you, Dan.
I was gonna say me, but I realized I've been a writer for like 25 years. Like, I mean, so yeah, I just know it's something I love. Like once I discovered it, once I read my very first screenplay, I'm like, this is what I gotta do. I gotta write.
Yeah, I never had that until much later.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, so that's the end of my questioning. I think overall you guys have proven that these stereotypes are not accurate for all sets of siblings. So,
but a lot of them.
yeah, there's some accuracy and there's some inaccuracy. So, overall, would you guys conclude yourselves that these are overall accurate or overall negligible? And you probably shouldn't take these into your everyday sibling order perspective.
Well, yeah, I think every family is unique, right? The set of circumstances, we moved around a lot, created a totally different environment than someone who has stayed, grows up in the same area and stays put their whole life. So, yeah, I mean, I do think circumstances absolutely are different for each family. So it doesn't surprise me that some of them we met, or some of the stereotypes were right in line with who we are, but it didn't surprise me that half of them we didn't fit either.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was great having you guys for this interview. If you guys want to do any plugs and tell anyone to follow you on anything or talk.
Then here's our plug. Our plug is, you want to follow us, if you want to, learn more about Wilson Bender Case, you can follow us on Instagram. Our handle is Wilson Bender Case, very easy. Or you can follow us on YouTube. We also have a YouTube channel, Wilson Bender Case.
There it is. We did it.
Yay!